All right, so welcome, and let finish up. So again, I'm going to share my screen. All right. Mm, yeah, I believe that you guys can currently see my screen, and also the recording is up and running. All right, so once you are done with the relationship matrix here, so the next step now will be the last step. Now you will need to calculate what you call our importance ratings, right? So you have to do those calculations that I showed you guys last week while explaining the building of a house of quality. So in this case here, once this is complete, now what you're going to do is that you have to provide the information below here. And this is what you're going to calculate now. Let me bring this a bit up so that we can see properly. Here you don't have anything. I can just put it here. What's going on? I copy this. All right. So that we can see everything. So what we do here is that we have to provide the total of each row here. So how do you go about doing this? So let's do this. Let's call this maybe a, when I call here B, C, D, E, F, Z, W. Right. So basically we're going to calculate these numbers here, or these letters, right? So what you're going to do is that let's start with A. What is the value of A here? So the value of A here, let me pull the calculator, pull up the calculator. So the value of A here, you're going to proceed this way. So you're going to take 9 times the number associated with the symbol plus 7 times the number associated with this symbol plus 4 times the number associated with this symbol. And that will be, the total will be the value of A in this case. So let's use the calculator, and obviously the number associated or specific number associated with each of the symbols here are also provided here. All right, so strong relationship, that is 9. Medium relationship is 3. Weak relationship is 1. All right. So in this case here, we're going to have 9 times medium relationship. The number is 3. So times 3 plus, here you're going to have 7 times 9, because here we have this strong relationship symbol, right? So we're going to be 7 times 9. So we're going to have 7 times 9 plus, open the bracket. The last symbol in this row here is this one. So that is 7 times the number associated. It means a weak relationship. So 7 is 4 times 1. So we're going to have 4 times 1. And then we close the bracket. So that gives us a total of 94. So that means the value of A here is 94. Right, 94. Again, let's calculate B and C. The rest you guys can calculate on your own. So here we're going to have 10 times 3. So that is going to be between bracket 10 times 3 plus 4 times 3 plus 2 times 3 and the total gives us 48. So here we have 48. Oh, what am I doing? 48. So lastly, let's calculate C. So C here, we're still going to follow the same approach. So here we're going to have 9 times 3 plus 8 times 9. 8 times 9, and that gives us 99. All right, so that is the value of C in this case. So again, you're going to calculate D, E, F, Z up to W, and then that will be the last step of building our house of quality at your level. So once you do that, you'll be able to come up with this house of quality. So your house of quality will look like this one. This is how your house of quality will look like. And these values also will reflect in your our importance ratings. This is what you will get at the end. So for the test, what we usually do is that I can bring you guys a picture, right? Or yeah, a picture or a house of quality that is already built, and then I will now ask you questions based on the house of quality. So for example, if I say that here is W, I can tell you to provide our importance rating W. So meaning that you have to do the calculation. And to make it more interesting, sometimes I can also bring that huge case study and I give you a piece of paper whereby you have to build your house of quality yourself. And then I will now ask you questions in providing our importance ratings. So that can also be another possibility that you can get these types of questions. So that means that you need to know how to build a house of quality from scratch. You need to know how to fill in the template that could be provided so that if you have any questions based on whatever aspect of the house of quality, you should be able to, unpack the question or answer the question. So that is, the essence of building a house of quality from scratch, because you don't just focus on our importance ratings here. You need to know the steps that you have to follow in order to come up with these numbers here, and also the steps prior to this level. So that's what you need to understand. So ladies and gentlemen, I think that's what I prepared for us in terms of building the house of quality. I will try my best. If I don't forget, I'm going to post this on Blackboard, on Moodle, so that you can still access this content whenever you can. So if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask your questions before we close the session.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you please repeat the important ratings part because I just joined and I was finding a hard time like connecting.
Oh, okay. All right. So coming back here, what I was saying about our importance ratings, if I can just come back to what I have done here, is that our importance ratings here, you need to know how to calculate them, right? Because this will be based on what the kind of relationship that you have created. You know? Because after providing or after how can I put it, establishing the different relationships here within the relationship matrix, you now, the last step will be now to calculate our importance ratings. So obviously, if your relationship matrix is incorrect, our importance ratings also will be incorrect, because that means that you have probably used different symbols, and obviously that is going to impact the importance ratings at the end. So in this case here, since you are calculating our importance ratings, so obviously we're going to start with the first cell here, and you're going to consider the symbol within a single column. Here we are within this column here. So we're going to consider all the symbols within this column. So in this case, by considering the symbols, you also need to consider the customer importance ratings on the side. So it's all about multiplying. Where there is no symbol, you don't need to take that space into account. So you just forget about it or ignore. So in this case, our calculations will be based on where the symbol is, here and here. The rest, we don't care. So here, what you're going to do is that you're going to take 9 times the number behind this symbol. And according to the legend here, the number behind these symbols here, which indicates that there is a medium relationship, is 3. Therefore, you're going to have 9 times 3. Right, so you're going to have 9 times 3. Right, so 9 times 3. So we are done with this symbol here. So we move on to the next one. The next one is this one. So you're going to take 7 times the number behind this symbol. And the number behind this symbol here, according to the legend provided, that is 9. So here we're going to have 7 times 9. So plus 7 times 9. Right, so we have 7 times 9. We are done with this symbol. We're going to move on to the next one, which is this one. So here we're going to have 4 times the number associated with the symbol. So according to our legend here, the number associated with the symbol is 1. Therefore, you can have 4 times 1. So plus 4 times 1. And that's it. So just now need to sum up. And that gives us 94. So 94 is our importance ratings for this cell. And then here you have 94. So obviously, you're going to do the same thing for K, L, D, E, F, and up to the last one. And I told you that the idea here is to identify the highest rating. And that highest rating will be the point of focus of the company in terms of sourcing the raw materials and all that. So that will be the point of interest. But at your level, once you have done this, you don't need to say anything else because these are the numbers that we can see at the end, right? So that's how you calculate our importance ratings at the end. So technical values of the house of quality, that one at your level, we're not gonna touch, right? Probably when you guys at your level, you won't say it. Only those who are doing management services and operations management, those students will be talking about those points. Ladies and gentlemen, any other questions if that one is clear? Oh, it seems like we are all on the same page, and I'm glad to hear that. So, I think that's what I needed to tell you today. What we're going to do is that we'll meet on Wednesday. So Wednesday, what is going to happen on Wednesday? Okay, we'll see. We'll see on Wednesday because we still have one chapter to go, right? So that one chapter, once we covered it, that means that we have covered the entire content of the semester. So meaning that the ball will be now on your court in terms of studying and getting ready for the assessment. And please don't forget that our upcoming assessment, I think it's on the 9th of May. So just check in the learning guide. I have already booked the venues. Obviously, we're going to use the computer labs. For those who are, you guys are at APB, we'll be using, I think the venues at Concowen. I will confirm that. And DFC, the venues are also provided. I will communicate on that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for attending the session. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. In case you get stuck with the questions, you can come and see me. And all this, the case study is also available on Moodle, so you can again practice. And yeah, thank you for attending. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you.